가지고 소장돼 있다라는 것을 지금 5,900개 정도 있습니다. 1,000만 원도 넘는 것도 많이 있고 그래요. 이게 결국 그 써본 분들이 그 좋다고 평을 해야 가장 중요한 건데, 그런데 지금까지는 좋다고 평을 많이 하니까. 자기가 좋아하는 걸 일생을 통해서 하는 사람이 가장 행복한 사람이다. 자기가 하고 싶은 것을 일생을 통해서 한다는 거 얼마나 즐겁습니까? 나는 평생 업이죠. 평생을 좋아했기 때문에 항상 그러고 평생 업이라고 생각하는 거죠. 결과적으로 건강을 허락하는 한 내가 100% 마음이 드는 작품을 만들고 싶은 그 욕망이죠. 그것뿐이에요.
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to a brand new week with the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon-Soa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-trends, K-people, K-everything. And before you know, you'll be booking your flight to Korea. We start off the new week with our co-host Walter Lee. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and hello to our viewers at home. We have a great program including K-Enter News, where I'll be providing you with the latest in the world of K-entertainment.
And Walter, actually, we're going to start off with K-entertainment today. You ready?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. No, of course I'm ready.
Of course you are. And we actually hinted at this first story at the end of last year. Year 2025 marks a very special year for one of Korea's top entertainment companies, which is SM Entertainment.
Yes.
And they celebrated big on the weekend, right?
They did. They celebrated very big. So yes, SM Entertainment celebrated 30 years in the K-pop industry.
Wow.
30 years, 3 decades. It's hard to believe, with a massive concert on Saturday and Sunday just past, mixing groups from the past and the present as well. So for example, H.O.T's 1997 mega hit Hope rocked the Gocheok Dome in Seoul, and original members Tony An and also Kang Ta, yes, were joined by C-pop or Chinese pop group Wavy's Xiao Jin and Hendery, also K-pop's Rise's Wonbin and Anton, as well as NCT Wish's debut members Xion and Yushi as well. Together, they performed on the stage the song's highlight choreography for that mega hit, Hope. Now, the set list alone was extraordinary. It's a condensed history of the Hallyu wave. Now, spanning from first-generation artists such as one of my favorites, SES, I love SES, and BoA, through the likes of TVXQ, as well as Super Junior and SHINee, EXO, Red Velvet, and NCT, and the fourth generation of aespa and Rise, of course.
You know, I don't get how celebrities never seem to age or hardly age, because seeing those groups just like H.O.T on the stage with almost the same hairstyle just like decades ago, it just felt like I was just looking through one of the performances, concerts decades ago. So it's amazing.
It doesn't look like they change at all. I mean, they same outfit, they look young still. I mean, it's amazing.
Maybe we're aging together with them.
Maybe, I think so.
Anyways, there was also an update on SM's new group at the concert.
That is correct. So SM Entertainment is launching its first new girl group since aespa 5 years ago. So the 8-member group is called Hearts to Hearts. It is set to debut on February 24th, so not too long. Now, on the second day of the 30th anniversary concert, SM surprised fans by unveiling a teaser video for their debut. Now, the name Hearts to Hearts represents a mystical and beautiful musical journey connecting fans' emotions with heartfelt messages. So stick around, not too long, about 2 months left for you to experience their new Hearts to Hearts group.
So now we have a name and also a date when they will be out. So I'm really looking forward to that new girl group. Now we're going to move over to BTS's J-Hope, who has great news for his fans.
He does have great news. So last Friday, BTS member J-Hope's agency, Big Hit Music, announced that J-Hope will hold his first solo concert. Now, the agency shared a poster on the fan platform Weverse. The concert, Hope on the Stage, will be held at Olympic Park K-H.O.T Dome at the Gymnastics Arena in Seoul from February 28th to March 2nd, marking the start of his inaugural solo world tour. Now, J-Hope is set to perform from his special album called Hope on the Street Volume 1. Now, this will be his first time singing the whole album live. Now, the album is based on his personal roots and artistic identity. Now, following the Seoul concerts, J-Hope will visit a total of 15 cities across the globe, performing 31 shows in total, with stops in North America as well as Asia. Now, the only problem is, at the moment, considering the ongoing wildfires in California, details regarding the North American shows will be announced a little bit later until we get further details.
And you'll probably going to keep us updated on those dates as well.
Will do.
And finally, we have some news on director Bong Joon-ho's latest film, Mickey 17.
Yes, something I'm actually really looking forward to. We talked about before the show. Audiences at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival will be the first to see Bong Joon-ho, the Korean director's latest film, Mickey 17, which is scheduled for February 13th at the Berlin International Film Festival. Now, Mickey 17 is Bong's first film since his Academy Award-winning Parasite, which was released in 2019. Now, the sci-fi film is based on the novel Mickey 7 by American author Edward Ashton. Now, it tells the story of a disposable worker, his name is Mickey, also known as an expendable. Now, they are sent on these dangerous missions. When Mickey dies, he's regenerated as like the next regeneration of himself. But as he faces his 17th death, complications arise, and Mickey 18 is printed under the assumption that Mickey 17 has died. So this makes some problems within the whole system in the whole world. Now, the cast includes Robert Pattinson as Mickey as the main character, Stephen Yeun, Naomi Aki, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo. Now, distributor Warner Brothers Korea announced last Friday that Mickey 17 will premiere in Korea on the 28th of February, ahead of its global release.
Right. So as we also mentioned last Friday, when we talked about this movie a little bit with our professor So Jae-young, or Jae-so, and we did mention that it's going to release in Korea first before at other places. But as you just mentioned, at the Berlin International Film Festival, you could catch it even earlier. Now, we'll probably not be able to be in Berlin, but I'll definitely try to catch it once it's out here in Korea.
Yes.
And thank you very much, Walter, for those key interviews.
And I'll stick around.
And now we move on to our AI culture news with Ari. Take it away, Ari.
Welcome to the Culture Wave AI News. Let's get started with today's top story. The Culture Ministry has unveiled its key policy directions for 2025. Detailing plans to drive growth in the K-content, tourism, and sports industries. Highlights include the creation of a new fund worth 600 billion won, or roughly $480 million, to attract global investment in K-content. The ministry also aims to boost tourism through measures such as extending the electronic travel authorization waiver and launching various overseas marketing initiatives. To ensure swift implementation, nearly 70% of the annual budget will be allocated in the first half of the year. Korea will host the annual League of Legends World Championship, one of the most popular esports tournaments globally. In 2027, this will mark the country's second time hosting the World Championship final. This year, Korea will also host League of Legends' inaugural international event, the First Stand Tournament, a competition featuring the top-performing teams from each region's Split 1 competition. The inaugural tournament is set to take place in Seoul this March. Additionally, the Mid-Season Invitational, another major League of Legends event, is scheduled to be held in Korea next year. The much-celebrated Hwacheon Sancheoneo Ice Festival in Gangwon-do Province has made a successful return. Hwacheon County says the festival attracted over 109,000 visitors on its opening day, including some 4,700 foreign tourists. Despite freezing morning temperatures of 16 degrees Celsius, the festival's main attraction, the ice fishing zone, remained packed throughout the weekend, drawing more than 1 million visitors annually. The Mountain Trout Festival has grown into a globally recognized winter celebration. This year's event will run until February 2nd, including the Lunar New Year holiday. Everland has debuted Korea's first ever multimedia show utilizing the intellectual property of the beloved Finnish character, Moomin. The show brings to life various animated scenes from Moomin's coming-of-age story through stunning fireworks display and media art. The 10-minute performance takes place at the Four Seasons Garden every Friday and Saturday, and on public holidays until March 1st. Everland is also hosting the Moomin Wintertopia Festival, offering a wide range of Moomin-themed experiences, including attractions, food, merchandise, and photo zones. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more cultural updates and engaging discussions coming your way.
Squid Game Season 2. Despite mixed reviews compared to the first season, the South Korean dystopian Netflix hit has been in the spotlight and breaking records since its release in late December. By exploring the complex essence of human nature, the series has gone beyond entertainment content to become a global cultural phenomenon. So let's talk about Squid Game 2, its success, and the stories behind it with Professor Ji Hae-won at Kyunghee University's Arts and Cultural Management Program, who is joining us today in the studio. Professor Ji, welcome.
Welcome, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon.
So let's start off with the achievements of the second season of Squid Game so far.
Right. Squid Game Season 2 was released on Netflix on Thursday, December 26, and for the first week of release, it brought 68 million views in only for 4 days, so which is Netflix's biggest TV debut ever. So the season picked up another 58.2 million views in the following week. So that brings it to a total of 126.2 million views total across the first 11 days, more than any Netflix series has ever achieved in that amount of time. Squid Game Season 1 achieved 265 million views, 265.2 million views in its first 91 days of streaming. But as of now, the Season 2 appears likely to outpace it, which is having more than 70 days left to continue accumulating views. So Squid Game to top the chart in 92 countries, including the United States, France, Japan, India, and Australia. It has already reached the 7th position in Netflix's all-time most popular non-English TV shows.
Right. So despite there being some mixed responses, people who watched the first season, I think they just have to watch the second one because everyone is curious about it, whatever people say about the series around them. And speaking of that, the first season had such an impact on viewers that we were talking about a Squid Game syndrome and even post-syndrome. It may have been an unavoidable result, but due to the immense success of the first season, there were some mixed responses regarding the second one, and also from media from overseas. So can you tell us a bit more about those reviews?
Yeah, people waited so long for the second season, so that's one of the reasons, I think. So, despite the success of the viewing, but the second season has received mixed reviews, with the ratings significantly lower than the first season, both domestically and internationally. So many audiences said they had been expecting something more than the first season, but found out nothing really different from the previous season. So some of them are very, very disappointed. But I think it's because the season 1 was the complete story with the 9 episodes. But however, the 7 episodes of the season 2 are connected to the season 3, so which is supposed to be released later this year. So season 2 developed and the characters and stories and left on a huge cliffhangers. So I believe people will find more when it is completed with the season 3.
Right, understandable.
I completely agree. I think that many people were waiting so long for the season 2, and they were really hoping for a great ending, but they were left with a cliffhanger. And instead, they were sort of disappointed without getting like a sort of ending to a story, and now they have to wait just a little longer for season 3 to happen. But let's talk about the success of Squid Game itself, being the season 1 or season 2. How was it able to attract this much popularity, and what makes it different from, let's say, similar productions?
Right. The Squid Game is based on the survival game. So there are any other like TV shows and films we could find telling about the survival games. But I mean, it is a simple and easy to approach to the foreign audiences without any Korean histories or social backgrounds. So also it does not let the participants kill each other. So it's a game operated by the other side. So the participants collaborate or fight each other depending on the situations. So nobody knows what's going to happen in the next stage. So these points make it different from some other TV shows or films of the survival games. Moreover, Squid Game features some classic Korean children game. So in the season 2, we could find 제기차기, 공기놀이, or 팽이치기, or 둥글게 둥글게, the game. And these games are interesting enough to capture international attention. Some audiences already shared the videos videos of themselves like practicing or playing the games on social medias.
Right, and that's also why I guess everyone is already curious about what kind of traditional games would appear in the third season as well, if it continues the way it did continue in season 2, of course.
Right.
But Professor Ji, Squid Game season 2 has also been getting attention due to its high production fees of around 100 billion won, which is roughly 67.8 million US dollars. And also the cast's high salaries. So what implications does such a high cost structure have on this series?
Right. It is reported that the production budget of the season 2 is 100 billion Korean won, which is 4 times more than the season 1. So there is also a lot of interest in actress ransom. So in the case of main character Lee Jung-jae, it has been rumored that he broke the record of the highest price performance for fee in Korean actors receiving $1 million, about like 1.4 billion Korean won per episode.
Per episode.
Right. So and more than like $13 million by season 3. This is huge. Like this is a lot of salary, but it is just a rumor. So it is not the official information though. So it is known that Squid Game season 1 produced about 25 billion Korean won in production costs, making about 40 times the profit. So kind of considering its expected revenue, the production budget might be understandable, but I think such a high cost structure would be a burden to the producers and to the actors as well on the long-term basis.
Well, let's see what will happen with season 3.
Right.
Maybe they will break another record or not. But Squid Game has demonstrated the endless possibilities of Korean content with the success on Netflix. So having said that, does this bring about some change in how Korean contents are created due to these OTT platforms?
Right. First of all, we already talked. The production cost has been increasing since the Netflix produced the Korean original contents. I remember that was 2017. The Kingdom was the first one. So the many Korean series have been produced and distributed by global OTTs, such as Netflix and Disney Plus, and I'm sorry. Brought huge international attention, including Kingdom, Squid Game, The Glory, Hellbound, and Moving. The global OTTs invested much more amount of money in producing than the Korean OTTs or the broadcasting stations. And so the local producers say that the cost of producing drama has risen from an average of 300 to 400 Korean won per episode to 2 billion Korean won raised by Netflix. So that's the kind of negative point of view. On the positive side, though, the quality of contents and production circumstances have been improved since the global OTT arrived. Until a few years ago, many Korean TV dramas were not completed before broadcasting, but more recently, most of them are filmed in advance, and the creative teams spend enough time to finish up the production for the better quality.
So also some good sides that we're seeing.
Right.
Now, I've obviously been spending a lot of time on YouTube, and the cast have been promoting this Squid Game 2 very heavily on talk shows in America, as well as for magazine, YouTube channels as well. So let's talk about some interesting stories that were revealed through the interviews with actors of Squid Game 2.
Right. There are a scene of a group of 5 play the game in turn. So the actors should practice very, very hard to play the Korean classic games, the children games. Especially Lee Jung-jae had to kick Jaegi more than 5 times, but it said he only made 2 in the first place. So he said he practiced it more than 2 months to make it. And in the case of 강하늘, since 공기놀이 is a game more likely played by the girls, so he's not good at it. So someone else played instead of him. So someone else's hand just playing instead of 강하늘's hand. And on the other hand, Lee Byung-eun said he did 팽이차기 too well. So it was rather difficult for him to make mistakes on purpose.
Right, the 팽이 돌리기, right? But I also heard that actor 강하늘, it's not that he did not as much as efforts as the other actors, but he also said that by birth he has his little finger, he has a little difficulties in putting it together to the other fingers. So
that's why he can't do that.
That's why, he had some obstacles, and that why there was a double actor, a double hand for that role as well.
Well, that's quite interesting. And there were some controversial issues, so let's also touch upon some of those controversial issues that gained attention with its release.
There are some issues. Actor Park Sung-hoon posted on an inappropriate photos on the concept of Squid Game on his social media, the personal social media, and was embroiled in controversy. He said he posted it by mistake and immediately deleted it. However, it spread rapidly through online communities and social media, and he ultimately dropped out of the TVN drama, The Tyrant's Chef, which was supposed to be his next project. Also, the season 2 is facing calls for a boycott in Vietnam due to a dialogue referencing the Vietnam Wars, which had sparked this criticism for distorting history. There is a line of Kang Han-il, who plays Tae-ho, describes his father, who was a Vietnam War veteran, and sent him to the Marines to become a real man, which had angered many Vietnam viewers.
As far as I know, there is a review underway regarding whether there should be regulatory measures or not regarding that series in Vietnam. But let's move on now to our final question, which is about season 3. Now, in the teaser that we saw before, there was the gigantic doll Young-hee, but also a new appearance of Chol-soo, which is Young-hee's boyfriend, which we saw in textbooks in Korea in the past. So I saw the teaser, but we don't know much about the third season. However, what are your expectations, Professor Z?
Actually, they don't say a lot about it. So it's like the season 2 will come out this summer or fall. So
season 3, you mean? Right.
Season 3, I'm sorry. So I believe it will answer to the questions from the season 2. Since it would be the final season, I think it's the season 3 would wrap up the main character Gi-eun's storylines and tell us more about the frontman's history. And based on its huge success, we could expect the potential spin-offs coming out with some other characters, including the masked guard or the police officers.
Wow, that would be interesting to see.
It has been rumors, but we don't know yet.
Well, thank you very much for your insights today, Professor Z.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Walter. We will see you again tomorrow.
Oh, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Please join us again tomorrow on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.
How to survive in Korea. Cafes. Step 1. Find a seat. Before